December 20, 1968. Lake Herman Road, Vallejo, California. A young couple, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, parked near a pumping station. They were on their first date. They were teenagers. A car pulls up behind them. A man gets out. He doesn't ask for money. He just shoots them both. The crime scene was baffling. No motive, no witnesses, just cold-blooded execution. Police labeled it a random teenage killing, but the killer was not finished. 6 months later, a couple is attacked again at a public park. The killer is becoming braver. A killer who chose his victims at random. A killer who was never caught. But his greatest crime was the psychological terror he unleashed with a pen. Tonight, we unseal the file on the Zodiac Killer. 3 weeks after the second attack, the killer begins his communication. He sends 3 letters to 3 different San Francisco newspapers. The letters were arrogant, mocking. He confirmed he was the killer, and he demanded the letters be printed on the front page. With the letter came the first code, the Z408 cipher. The killer claimed his identity was hidden within the symbols. The code was broken by a pair of high school teachers, the Hardens. The message was chilling. I like killing people because it is so much fun. The killer, now dubbed the Zodiac, was thrilled by the attention. He calls the police, demanding they talk to a famous lawyer on a local talk show. The Zodiac Killer was not just a murderer. He was a performance artist. He was playing a twisted game with the entire San Francisco Bay Area. The Zodiac's next attack was his most personal and most brutal. Lake Berryessa. He approaches a picnicking couple, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard. He is wearing a costume, a black hood with the white crosshair symbol drawn over his face. It was his uniform, his signature, his terrifying declaration. He ties them up with pre-cut rope. He doesn't use a gun. He uses a knife. The Zodiac stabs them repeatedly and viciously. Brian is stabbed 6 times. Cecilia is stabbed 10. After the attack, the Zodiac takes a black marker and writes on the couple's car door, listing the dates of all his kills. Signed, by knife. The crime was witnessed by a fisherman. Cecilia died 2 days later, but Brian Hartnell survived. He was the Zodiac's only living eyewitness. 2 weeks later, the Zodiac kills his last confirmed victim. Paul Stein, a taxi driver, is shot in the head. The killer tears a piece of Steiny's shirt and sends it to the San Francisco Chronicle as his trophy. The Zodiac sends his most famous letter, the Z340 cipher. He demands that the city wear Zodiac buttons and that the media continue to print his letters. He signs off with a threat. He threatens to bomb a school bus unless the authorities comply. The fear across the Bay Area was absolute. The police had suspects, dozens of them. The prime suspect became Arthur Lee Allen, a troubled, intelligent man who owned a Zodiac-branded watch. But the evidence was never enough. His fingerprints didn't match. The handwriting samples didn't match. The DNA was inconclusive. The Z340 cipher remained unbroken for 51 years. In 2020, a team of codebreakers, including an American cryptographer and 2 Australians, finally solved the Z340. The message? Not a confession, not an identity, just more arrogant rambling. I hope you're having lots of fun trying to catch me. The Zodiac Killer stopped sending letters in 1974, but the FBI and local police files remain open. His identity is still unknown. The Zodiac Killer proved one thing: the most powerful weapon in a criminal's arsenal is not a gun or a knife. It is fear. The file on the serial killer who signed his work with the crosshair remains unsealed. We post new investigations every single day. Subscribe to Unsealed. The dark files are waiting.